software and kind of giving you some tips.
I've got my iPad handy, so I can go into Google Classroom and check those things if needed.
Yeah.
It's just like for the meeting, I have to just use my own phone.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
I've actually started recording, Julian and Lisa.
No swearing.
No, I'm just saying I've started recording, so because I thought I was going to forget. So I love the cat. You look like what's that guy out of the Bond film with the white one?
Blofeld.
Was it Dr. No? Was it Dr. No who had the cat?
No. It was Blofeld, wasn't it?
Dr. No, wasn't it?
Was it
Dr.
No?
No? There we go. Somebody else is saying Dr. No.
I don't know my Bond.
No, me.
I don't like that period anyway. It was a little bit too forceful for my liking.
But the cat, I think the cat was the brains of the operation. So you're letting the cat out the bag now, aren't you?
Yeah, for all the animals.
I'm going to put my Guernica back as well because I took that off earlier. Okay. So I'm going to mute myself now, Julian. So, but I'll be around. I'll be here if you need me.
Fantastic. That's great. Just going to give it a couple more minutes for a few people to come in. We normally have a few who late dawdlers in. You know, normally topping up their wine glass or something like that. You know, that's the way it is. What are you drinking, Davina Thomas? Is that an
Pepsi?
Is it? It looked like an artisanal beer can.
No, it's Pepsi. And it is Blofeld that had the cat, by the way.
Yes.
I Googled it.
Thank you,
Okay,
Ben.
I stand corrected. I'm really sorry. I didn't know my Bond either.
Yeah. Dr. No had the lovely island. Wasn't that Scaramanga? I don't know.
Oh, Scaramanga didn't, was it? No, Scaramanga didn't have the cat then.
No, it was definitely Blofeld. Scaramanga was a man with a golden gun.
Yeah, is that you, Julian?
Someone knows their Bond way better than I do.
I am a bit of a Bond fan.
Timothy Dalton all the way. I'm sorry. Best Bond by far.
Oh, no, I like, what's his name? The one with
Sean
the
Connery for me.
The other one with the blue eyes. What's his name? The recent one.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. Oh, my God. Yeah, Daniel Craig. Yeah, he's just lush. He's got the most beautiful blue eyes I've ever seen. And I've seen them up close and in person. There we go. There's my 2 seconds of standing next to a famous person.
I second Daniel. Okay, we've got a fair few people wanting Daniel. Right, let's get cracking because some of us have got loads of bits and pieces. Thank you for those who are coming along. It's great to see. I recognize a few names of bits and pieces. I recognize one name from many, many years ago. Hello, Danny. Hello. So great to see you. For those that have not done this before, how I normally run these is I will do like a share screen and I walk through a piece of software. But what I like to do is I like to look at it from two different perspectives. So I'll normally have, I use Google Chrome, which will be the black one. So if I just share my screen now. So this one here with the black at the top will be my teacher's screen. So this is from the perspective of the teacher. And then I will have my silver one, which is when I look at it from the student's point of view. So if you're wondering who I'm looking at, it's silver for the student and black for the tutor screen. Now, the aim for tonight is to kind of go through and look at how kind of recap setting assignments. I want to look at rubrics again using Google Tools and the Google Classroom. And then we're going to look at ways that we can assess, give feedback, build comment banks, and send back work to students. And then what I want to look at is a couple of other ways of giving assessment feedback to our students. So at the moment, we do a lot with written feedback, but I want to look at giving video feedback and audio feedback. And I'm using two tools for that tonight. I'll be using Vocaroo, which is an audio feedback tool. And I'm going to be looking at using Flipgrid for creating reaction videos and giving video feedback. Now, with the Flipgrid, it's got to be via, I'm going to be showing you a video because I can't do a video within a video. It's like Inception. It doesn't work. So some of you may look at this and go, well, I know how to do that. And that's lovely. Just sit there and go, yes, I know how to do that. And some of you have never seen it before, so you can take notes. Now, what I do have is in the bottom corner, there is a little chat box. At any time, please put a question in there, and I'm more than happy to answer it. Or if I'm unsure, what I'll do is I'll find out myself and I'll send you an email later on with how to do it, because I don't know everything. I have to admit it, and sometimes we all just need to kind of go, oh, I've not known how to do that before. So what I want to start with is, firstly, how do you mute that sound, Lisa? That is terrifying. Can you mute the beep? So firstly, I'm going to learn how to mute the beep on a Zoom call. If not, then I'll get started. Is it gone? It's gone. Brilliant. Okay, so let's just start sharing my screen. If I've got the black screen up, it's going to be my teacher's one. Now I need one person to, I'm going to pick up Solers. Do you want to unmute yourself for me, please? Solers? Can you unmute? I just want to find out about your name. Oh, you've just hidden yourself. You've ran away. Okay. Lisa, I'm going to unmute you then. Well, you're rubbish as well. Unmute.
Unmuted.
Thank you.
Unmuted, yeah.
Oh, okay. Solers.
So I'm Cleo Solers, I am. I'm
Sorry?
Cleo Solers. I'm Cleo Solers, not
Fantastic.
Solers. I don't know how Solers.
You're going to be my voice of reason. So if I start talking about something that you can't see, you're going to shout, oi. Okay?
Okay.
Do you want to practice that for me?
Okay. Oi!
That's good.
Julian!
Too far. Lost a job. Brilliant. Let's get started with this. So what I want to look at just to begin with is how to set a basic assessment on Google Classroom. So we've got our range of classrooms here that we have set up. And I'm going to go into my Wednesday group, and this is my student base. Now, when we go into the classwork to begin with, we're going to start by just creating a simple assessment. So as soon as I open up this screen here, I'm going to go to create. And then I'm going to set an assignment. Now, the one thing to remember with all of this, and the great thing about setting it up through Google Classroom, is I can differentiate the assessment for my learners. So remember, when you're setting it, you don't just have to set it to all of the students, and you can differentiate at different levels. It's not a problem. So I'm going to start by just calling this one assessment practice. And I can type my instructions in. So let's say the instructions are complete the work and give reasons. Now, one of the key things that helps students a lot is having an understanding as to what you're marking them for. If they're unsure, that's where they're going to have some slight issues. And what we're looking for, especially with the online learning where you're not there all the time to give them this feedback and feed forward, this is going to be really critical, especially for the parents at home who may be looking at their child's work and are unsure what the next step is. And this is where, with Google Classroom, the rubric is so important. So in the bottom right-hand corner here, we have Add Rubric. Now, I'm going to create a rubric from scratch. Now, this can be done in a few different ways. You can start off by using a rubric you already may have in your school. So if you've got one that's set for national standards or literacy standards, you can use that section there. Or what you may want to do is if you mark to a set criteria, that's kind of something that you've already agreed with learners. I know with some teachers in the past, they've color coordinated it. So let's have a look at just setting that one up here. So if we're saying spelling, and I'm going to color coordinate this as red. So I'm going to say here the criterion could be good, accurate spelling to support your work. If incorrect, we'll color red. Again, you may want to change that sort of thing. And what you can do here is you then have the ability to assign a certain amount of points. So if the student is aware, then if you're giving an overall grade, say it's out of 100, they can see the areas that are maybe dropping their work at that time. Level, title and description, again, only if you really need to. Because this is an American system here, they like to have this sort of Americanism here. Okay, once we're happy, we'll click Add Criterion. Let's add another one here. So we've got spelling. So let's type in punctuation. And we're going to color coordinate this one blue. So punctuation, good, accurate punctuation, not spelling. Punctuation, including commas, apostrophes, and again, I can assign a certain amount of points for them. So add another criterion. Now you can add as many of these as you want. If you want to have it up into 10 sections, you can have 10 sections. But I would always say, never really go over like 4. You want to keep it nice and clear so the students have got a good understanding of what's going on. So you may want to have spelling, punctuation, and grammar as one complete setting. But again, this is why when you differentiate for your class, maybe they need different rubrics to support them. Criterion title, let's go topic. So assignment sticks to the main elements of the topic. Again, we can assign this one yellow. Spell that correctly. Once we're happy, we'll give this some points. So we're going to give this 80 points. Lovely. That's rounded up to 100. And we're going to save that rubric. So now the students have got an understanding of what the rubric criteria is. They know where they're going to get the points. And also they know a little bit about how you're going to give them feedback and marking. And I may want to put that here in the instructions. I will mark using colors and feedback. Red for spelling. I can't remember now. Punctuation blue and yellow for topic. So now they have a good understanding as to what the expectations are. Again, you may want to put a lot more detail in there for them, and that will help you as you go along. Now, what you can do as well with this is you can add additional documents. So not just setting the assignment. So if you've got like crib sheets, or maybe you use mnemonics to help support them, I can add as many feedback and worksheets into that as possible. So I can add, let's add a file. Let's find it on my computer. Just pick anything at random. There we go. They can have a map of Blackpool as well. I don't know why I've got a map of Blackpool. There. And this is one of the key things again for students is going, where else can I get support? So maybe I want to help give them a website that's going to guide them. Word Hippo, for those that have not used it before, is a great online tool for synonyms, antonyms, and definitions of words. So let's add, I can add a link. So now the students have got some bits and pieces to help support them, and they've got a web link to help guide them. And this is always key. How much information can we give to them? Once we're happy, we're now going to assign that assessment to the learners. And it says it doesn't like it. So we'll try it again. And it doesn't like it. Why? Oh, because I've not put a due date on it. Let's try that.
My hip is.
Okay, let's get rid of some of these and see if that's the reason why it's not liking it. So I've now assigned that work to the learners. Let's now look at my learner screen and see how it looks to them. So here we are, we're on my student screen. Can I just ask, apart from Solas, if we mute our microphones, if that's okay? Much appreciated, thank you.
Okay.
So here on my student screen, because we've got the silver bar, they can now see this new assignment has been set for them. And this is what they see. They see the rubric, they can click down, they can see exactly what it is that you're going to be giving them feedback on and what you're going to be marking them towards, how you're going to help them. Again, this is really important, not just for the learner, but for their families or guardians at home. And they're going, okay, well, what is it you need to do? So when they're giving them that support and they're one-to-one, they're there and they understand how you're going to be giving them that guidance along the way. So they can see where the points are, what the colors are for the feed forward, and the order of how it's being completed. Now, the good thing as well from the learner's point of view is they can send these private comments. And this is quite a kind of a nice feature I like about it, because sometimes there's that little fear of them putting their hand up in classroom or sending an email out to the group saying, I'm really stuck with this one. And I would encourage you to say to a student, look, use a private comment box, send me messages. How did you find the work? Get some feedback from them throughout the process to help guide them. Now, the student has a few options here. They can add work, so they can either upload it if they use a Word file, they can download it from their Google Drive, or they can create it straight from you using Google Docs. And if you're wanting to look at how we do that, there are a few YouTube channels, videos that we've done, which Lisa and Beth have access to, and they'll send you the link on how we can create those. So for this task tonight, we're going to go to File, and we're going to upload one that's just on the computer. So let's browse one. Okay. There we go. So this is from my student. They've just assigned some work and they're just going to send it over to me, and they're going to hit turn in. Once they're happy, yep, they've turned that piece of work in now. So we've got a question coming in. How do you add yourself as a student to an assignment that you set? So what I've done here, Helen, is I've got several email accounts. So I've got one, I've got my Julian.airs one, which is my teacher's one. And then this one is called Learner 4, my original one. So I made myself 8 student accounts for doing these. So that's how I've added myself as a student. So they've now submitted that. And now let's go back to my teacher's screen now. So here's my teacher's screen, the black bar at the top. Give it a little second. And we can see under assessment practice, I've had 1 handed in and 39 can't be bothered. So let's have a look at this learner's work. Now, what I can do straight away from this page is I can mark it directly in Google Classroom. And there are quite a few benefits to this in terms of I've got my rubric to the side to help guide me. and I can use the tools to help aid with the notation stuff. Now, even though this was done on a docx file, I can open it with Google Documents. And this is where I can start to give this feedback along the way. And this is one of the benefits of it. So, okay, yeah, got it. Thank you very much. So here are my students' work. And what I can do now is I've got along the top here, the simplest thing is the highlights. So say, for example, there's a spelling error. I can highlight it and I can go through and I can hit the red and I can change the color of it. So now that's highlighted in red. Again, I can click on it and I can add, you've got this little logo here for adding comments. Now, what I can do with, I can add comments such as this. So I can kind of go, this is spelt incorrectly. Sort it out. So I can add these comments on there for the learner. I can change different colors and I can add those in. So maybe I want to have some different bits and pieces. Again, linking back to that piece of work that they've got. Now, once I'm happy with that and I've finished with the editing, all I do is I close it back down and I can return that. Now, what you'll get as well with using the Google Docs here is I can assign marks straight into this assessment box down the side. So I can give it 8 out of 10 for the spelling, say 4 out of 10 for punctuation, and the topic is 75. And this is a good thing with it. Again, what you can also do with this is you've got the automatic comment bank. So I've created these automatic comments down the side. This is useful if you've got, if you want to refer to a key element, and rather than keep on typing it, I can just have a preset. So say I want to add to the comment bank. So let's put a comment on here. This is good opening sentence. Great work. Helps if I spell it correctly. Now I've added that to my comment bank down the side. And when I want to add to this, I instantly just, I put the plus symbol. So all I do is I highlight the sentence that I want to add the comment on, hit that, and then all I have to do is hit the @ symbol, and oh, actually maybe if I just put this, there you go. I can just start typing and it will instantly add my little section on there. And it will take it from the comment bank that I've already pre-built down the side. So it does save a lot of time when I'm working. So let's just put that in there. There we go, work better. So you can build these kind of range of comments that you've already got, especially again, if they're referring to constant themes or key elements they need to be aware of at a later stage. So once we're happy, what we do then is we just click return. But what I want to look at is this idea of the private comments down the side. These private comments are where you can add a few more bits of information. This is where you give your summative feedback at the end of the Google document. So let's go, for example, I put here, this is a da, 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 and I can write as much as I want in there. And that's my summative feedback that just goes to the student. And I post that in there. We've got a few questions coming. Let's have a look. Will the comments be available for every assignment? No, once I've created that comment bank, it stays in there. So that comment bank I created ages ago for another assignment, and they will always stay in there. So you can create this preset range of comments, and they will always be there. So let's return this to my student. given them the grade, and I've returned that straight to my learner. So let's go back to my learner screen now. Give it a little second. Now, what they can do then is they can see their grade, they see the private comment from me, the overall marks, and they can click on the piece of work and they can see the color that I've annotated that piece of work. And if they open the Google Docs, they'll be able to see the comments that I've provided alongside that document to help support them. So it doesn't like Firefox. Just give it a few seconds and it should come in for them. Now, the great thing with this as well is that the student can give feedback on the feedback that you've provided. So once the student's written it, they can actually send you feedback to them. So maybe when you're giving feedback, going, how do you think this should be spelled? What is the next step going forward? Or, you know, I've identified this as being incorrect. How would you improve it? And this is one of the key things with any of the feed forward, especially online, is that rather than it be a top-down approach of the teacher saying, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this gives you the opportunity to go, well, let's stretch that student a little bit further with their thinking. And instead, where I've put this is spelled incorrectly, sort it out, I may put, this is not correct. How would you spell it? Put it in the reply box underneath. So let's put the student in here. They've put, I don't know. I don't even know how to spell that word. I copied it. And say they're going to send it like that. We're going to go back to my teacher screen. We'll just refresh it. And now the teacher will be able to see that feedback that you have got. Can you comment on a PDF document? We will find out. That's a good idea. We'll have a look. So now the student has, they've given some feedback. Give it a second to have some life. It may need a little bit longer for it to show the student comments. But again, it's one of the ways that we can really see how we can start adding some questions in to get some feedback from the learners. So it may take a little bit longer. If I share, the student will then share that back with the tutor. So they'd have to then, what they could do is they could share it to, so maybe say to them, send it to them, to the learner, if you ask the students to make sure that they send the work back to you once it has been completed, and then you can see the changes they've made. So someone asked about assigning a PDF and inserting that. So let's have a look at that now. Let's try that one. Thank you, Helen McFarlane. Right, now I know. Brilliant. Okay, so my learners are adults and they're struggling to submit tasks online. Okay, so let's take my student, same one. They're now going to submit a PDF. So they're going to add a new file. Let's see if I've got a PDF on here. I should have a PDF. First one to spot a PDF wins. We'll just upload one off my computer. It is a little bit of a pain when they upload with a PDF. I understand that. So let's see if they can still add feedback comments to it. And we'll get rid of that. And they'll resubmit. So this is my student. They've now submitted a PDF. Let's go back to my teacher's screen and let's see if this works. I think it should. So let's go to the one that's handed in. Let's see the student work. Now, I know on here I can still add comments. So I can still add comments to it. And all you have to do is highlight where you want to mark and hit comments, and I can add from my comment bank as well. So you can use PDFs and return that to students and they see the comments on it. So that is available as an option. Yeah, that's a great way. So Helen's put in the chat box, she asked students to make a copy for editing changes to have that original document. Now, what you should be able to see on any, so say, for example, this student submitted this work here, you should be able to see like a file history. So what you can do is you can see version history. So I can see when it was changed and when it was altered. So if you have got one piece of work and you're sending it between students and back and forth, all you would do is you go to the document, go file and go version history. And that way you can see where they've made the changes as well once they've shared it. So that may save another step as well. Let's go back to my learner to see that PDF they've submitted. Brilliant, it's being graded and they should hopefully be able to see that one there. So now whether they actually see the comments on it, what I will check is, let's go back down. See what I'm going to, the one thing I'll find a little issue with this, I've got to double check, is whether it does the conversion, because that's where the comments will be. It'll be on the Google Docs. With any student who submits via PDF, I would always say to you, I'd try and convert it. I'm not a big fan of PDFs as a document, so you may need to convert it to make that a little bit easier if that is an issue. Because I can't see any of my original comments. So yes, you can put feedback on it, but I don't think the student can see the actual comments that you provided, which is, yeah, it's a little bit of a shame. Okay, you can see them, but you can't see where they actually were exactly. Exactly. So this is one of the issues. If you do use PDFs, they can see the comments from you. So to find the comments, the student would go to the 3 dots, see details, then comments, but they can't see exactly where it is on the PDF, which is a little bit of a shame with it. Yeah, I would ask the booklet to be downloaded as a Word document and move it. So yeah, that makes a lot more sense. With regards to submitting work using the assessment model on Google Classroom, is there any specific questions or specific problems that people are facing? And they'd like to have a little bit of a recap on that before I move on to the next element. Is it possible to stop individual pupils from editing a shared document if they are altering them? Is that B. Thompson? Are you okay to unmute and just explain that one to me? Is that okay?
Hello, yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, go for it.
On a shared document where they've all got permissions to edit, I recently put 2 within Google Classroom, but then a pupil was deleting things out of there. So is it possible to stop them from doing that?
Yes. So what you do is you just hit them and just say, don't do that. It's really simple. Just try it all to know. What you do when you come to set the work, So let's go back to my group. I'm going to set a piece of classwork for them. So I'm going to add a document that I want them to edit. So let's pick that one again. Now, the best way to do it would be make a copy for each student. Firstly, that might be a way of doing it. So they've all got the questions. Are you looking for them to all collaborate though on the same document and share their answers?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what you would do here, if that is a case where they're being a repeat offender, you can make, so students can edit the file, send it to them. Let me just have a quick think about this one. It's an absolute pain, isn't it, when they do that? So you can't, because if you exclude the student, then they can't take part in the activity. Because the only other way I'd think it would be to set 2 assignments, but then they wouldn't be able to collaborate with the thing. Are you looking for it to be locked though?
Not on a permanent basis. Maybe, could you like just temporarily, like 5 minutes? Do you know what I mean? Is there any way to just stop access for that? I set what happened is I set a homework actually, and then somebody deleted all of the homework off it, unfortunately. Yeah, of the collaborative activity.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can go into the student. So if I go to the person, I can edit what they can do. So if I got the shared document, I can go in and I can stop them from taking part in the activity. But no, the only other way to do it, I would say there would be to make them do it kind of unfortunately individually. Because unless you have it, the worksheet, the only other way would be if you did it if you gave them the worksheet as a PDF, and then you set them the task of collaborating on a document separate. So that's the only way I think you'd be able to do it really. So if you when you come to create the assignment, I'd write the document on Word and save it as a PDF. Does that kind of make sense? Say no if it doesn't. I don't take offense.
Yes, it does. Somebody's just said about make 2 documents or something. I just missed it.
Yeah, well,
one to edit, so they know which one.
Yeah,
Right.
you could set them as 2 assignments though. So what you could always do is when you come here to set in the assignment, you can select which students take part in that activity. So maybe even make the groups a little bit smaller rather than do it as one big group of 30 and then collaborate all the tasks at a later stage. But with regards to locking it, the best way to do it would be maybe even if you wrote the questions as an image or a PDF and then got them to kind of summarize together on another document. But you'll be able to tell who deleted what. So if they say, oh, it wasn't me, miss, well, you can kind of go back to the work that's been submitted. So if I go to a piece of work that's been submitted, so let's have a look at some work that's been submitted. You can actually see the version history of that work. So if you go to it, find that piece of work, and then once it's opened on Google Docs, what you'll be able to do is top right, you should see file, and then you'll be able to go into version history. So that would be the best way really of then going, by the way, I've seen this. I know you've deleted the questions. You're a bit of a pain. So that's the way that you would do it, just to kind of have a little word with them quietly about their behavior. So
That's great.
So if I do I will have a look to see if there's ways of locking certain words, because I wouldn't mind knowing that myself personally. That might be quite useful to see if we could lock a worksheet so when they collaborate, it doesn't cause any pain. So if I do find anything, I will make a little video and I'll ping it to Beth and we'll go from there. Is that okay?
That's great. Thanks very
Sorry,
much.
thank you. Any other questions at all before I move on to the next little tool? Nope. Okay. Now, we've looked a lot at written feedback, but I want to look at two other variations of giving feedback for students, because one of the things we found a lot, and I've identified a lot even with my learners in HE, is that they have sometimes the written word it's a bit unfriendly, it's a bit inhuman, and it's a little bit cold for a lot of them. I always think of it as, you know, there's the thing where, you know, if I wrote in the chat box that sentence there, okay, so Cleo Solas, what is that sentence?
Solas.
Sorry, Solas.
I can't see what it is actually, Julian.
It says get bread.
Sorry, I was writing something else down.
Okay, so if we take that sentence there of get bread, what can you assume from my sentence?
That you would need to that you need to get some bread.
Okay, it's good. Someone else with lower confidence may go, was I meant to have got bread? They'll read into things in so many different ways. My dad used to text me in capital letters. So if he sent me that as a text, it would be like, get bread, like, you idiot, you forgot it. So everything, and this is the thing with when we write sometimes, is that it can get misconstrued. So I want to look at two ways of we can use different software to give feedback using an audio format and using a video format. Now, one of the tools I really like at the moment and I appreciate is a tool called Vocaroo. Now, Vocaroo is completely free online recording software. And this is it. This is as fancy as it gets. It's www.vocaroo.com. I will put the web address into the chat bar for you. But it's a great way of giving audio feedback to our students and allowing them to take part in any conversation. So I'll show you how it works. What I do is I go to the website and I go, hello, this is an example of Vocaroo. Well done, you have done some fantastic work. And blah, blah, blah. Now, your version hopefully will be a lot better than mine, a little bit more human. You can bring a little bit of character to it. But this is what we get. Hello, this is an example of Vocaroo. Well done, you have done some fantastic work. Lovely, wonderful. So our next step now is to think, well, how can we use this? So we hit save and share. And then what we get here is a little web link. So I'm going to copy that web link. Let's go back to my students' work. Here's my students. I can go to the private comments and I can paste that web link. And there we go, we've posted it back. Let's go to my student account. Going back to the student, they can see the work they've got back. And now they've got this little web link, which they can click on. Hello, this is an example of Vocaroo. Well done, you have done some fantastic work. Lovely. Hello, this is an example of Vocaroo. Too much. Well done. Shush. But it's a really kind of easy way of adding a little bit of a human nature and giving some audio feedback, especially if we've got learners who may have may find difficulty with the reading off the screen, because the one thing with Google Chrome is that you can't change the actual background or the fonts and bits and pieces. It gives a little bit of human, you know, you can then put, hey, well done, you're fantastic, you've done great. Add something, a little bit of character to the feedback for the learners. And we've even proven from, even with HE, giving audio feedback has been more beneficial for our learners than the kind of written one. Now, the nice thing as well with it, our students can download that. So maybe even really nice for, well, actually it helps if I show you where it was, if I share my screen. Solids, you're doing rubbish at telling me that I'm not sharing my screen.
Oh, sorry, I'm writing down Vocaroo
I'll let you off
instructions for
this
year
one.
one.
So here we've got, that student can hit download, and they can now download and they can save all these lovely little messages that you've given them. So if they ever need a pick me up or anything one day, you've got all of your little messages to help support them. Now, someone's put a great one in the chat box, and you can convert it into QR codes. Yeah. So if you want to convert it into a QR code, all you do is you hit QR, and there you go. I can download that as an image. You know, the other great thing with Vocaroo, I'm not sure if anyone is doing like treasure hunts around their classroom or around their home. We've done it where we've made little QR codes and then they scan it and it comes up, and you can have audios or something. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, someone's put they could save it as a ringtone. Yeah, definitely. That would be a great way of doing it. They can have that nice ringtone. But it's a great way of just sharing some of the feedback through and bringing that little bit of human contact back into the classroom, which is really important. So that's using Vocaroo. Is there a limit to how long you can record? No, there isn't. And with the web link, it lasts for as long as you've got the link. I've made that for, I've had some of these up for a few months and they've not got rid of them before. So it's always a good one. So I'll just guide you through how to do that again for those that didn't get the chance to see it. So I go on to vocaroo.com. I hit this little record button here and I just go, well done, fantastic work, great stuff. Yay. I hit stop and then I hit save and share. And then what I want to save here is this web link, because that's the only way we can transfer it using Google Tools. So I copy the web link. I then go to my assessment where the student is and I add it as a private comment, and then I hit post. And then this learner, they will see from the learner screen, they'll see their bit of work. They just refresh it and they'll see in the private comment the second video for them, and they can play it. Well done, fantastic work, great stuff. Yay. Just go. There you go. And that's one great way of doing it. Can you use Vocaroo on Teams? Yeah, because it's just a web link. So because it's a web link, you can post it anywhere. You can send it via email. You can send it anywhere else. You can do it over phones in lots of different places. Now, the next tool I want to show is one that I can't actually do at the same time, but we've had a great deal with using audio feedback, but I want to look at using video feedback now, because one of the things that I found useful is Flipgrid, but I use it for kind of giving some video feedback to learners. So this is my poor attempt this afternoon. Excellent work. You really did well. Yay. Fantastic. You guys can probably do a much better one which says well done to your students. So that's the highlight of my audio skills. Now, Flipgrid is a great way of making what I kind of call short reaction videos. Again, it's putting you, the teacher, back on the video. You can add these cool little emoticons and fillers, and you can share it, again, using Google Assessment, using the Google Tools, or using Microsoft Teams. Now, what I'd like to do is just show you a video of how I made them, because I can't show you it on my screen. So here's just a short video of how to make these reaction videos and share them using Google Tools. What what this is going to do is I'm using Flipgrid here just to record how I'm going to create these videos for our students. So if I go to Flipgrid, I'm going to log into Flipgrid. Fantastic. And go Educator Login. Now, what I'm going to want to do here is firstly get joined by a cat. Thank you. I'm going to go to Discussion, and I'm going to create a new topic. So if I hit Add Topic here, there we go. I can now add in a topic. So say I'm going to call this one Assessment 3. There we go. Now I'm going to want to instead just give reactions to my students. Reactions. There we go. And the great thing with these is I can make some small videos that give audio and visual feedback to my learners rather than just pure giving, this is good work, this is how you're doing. I can actually give a little bit of a human context to our learners. I can set the recording time for how long I want it to be, and also I can have closed captions. Now, I'm going to change this to United Kingdom. So words such as recognize, which normally will come up in the US with a Z, it will come up with an S, and so on. Now, what I can do, it likes to have a little logo for you to put with it. So I can add an emoji, or may want to upload a picture if I've got like a class logo or something. I'm just going to put, yeah, he looks quite fun. So I'll just put him there. Oh, what have I done wrong here? So I've just got to put my email address in. There you go. So now that's set, when I go to my discussion page now, I can click on there and I can add a new response. I can record a new response. Now, if I try to record a response, there we go. Now, what we're doing now is a video within a video. This is a little bit Inception. But the video I have for my student, this screen here, ignore him down there. This screen here, the main one in front of me, is what the student will get. And I can add some little bits on here. So I can upload, I can add some effects. So maybe I want to say, you know, I'll put him on there, I like him. So again, I can have it as well done, you've done some work, you've done superb. What else can I do on this? Again, I can go to my effects. I can draw, I can add photos, I can add frames. So let's put, well, I like that. Yeah, it's good. So breaking news. What else can we add on here? There's a few other bits and pieces. We can put text in there. So let's put some text in there. My student's done really well. So super work. There we go. So now I've added this little logo up here. And then I can record. And I can record this, so I can be kind of going, it's going to be 3, 2, 1. I'm going to go somewhere. So I'm like, this is some super work. Really well done. Fantastic stuff. You guys can do a lot better than me. So now it's saved that small video. I'm going to hit next at the bottom. Right. This is some super work. Really well done. Fantastic stuff. Right. This is some super work. Really well done. Fantastic stuff. And that's what's going to go to my student. I'm going to share it to them. So I'm just going to give it a display name. I can give it some titles and I can go submit. I'm happy with that. So now that's uploading that video. And that's going to be in my, if we go to my assessment 3, so go back to discussion, go to assessment 3. And my video is in there. Once it just takes a little bit of time for it to hurry up and go through. So there's my video. So I can click on that. This is some super work. Really well done. Fantastic. And we're going to use that then. I'm going to guide you through how to share this. So all you'd then do is you'd hit share. You can copy that link and I can send that to any student. I can attach it at the bottom of the work like I kind of will show you. So for example, once they get the link, it will just look like this. And that's what they'll get in front of them. And the student will go, oh, what's this? They'll click on it and this is some super, and they'll see me getting rather excited about that. So hopefully that's been useful. Thank you very much. So this is back now to where I
on
am.
the teacher's screen.
So hopefully that has been useful. So you can make those small videos. Again, once you've got the shared link, you can just drop that at the back bottom with the private comments again, and you get that little video connection. You can add a lot more images, and you can personalize it to each individual learner. So you can make each little video, and you can have like a bank of them if you want, and go, okay, your aim is to try and get a gold star off me, and there's an emoticon for a gold star. And you can also make individual videos for different learners' names. So great work, Paul Bailey. I really love your work that you've done today. And for the learner, it's just something a little bit interesting. It's something a little bit different. Like, oh, that's really good. It gets them, the aim is to get that small little video from them. And it doesn't take too long. So that's Flipgrid videos for assessment feedback. Any questions at all about using the Flipgrid videos? Please pop them in the chat box and I'm more than happy to answer them. No? Well, thank you for coming along tonight. That's a range of giving assessment feedback in the Google Classroom using a range of different tools, including audio and video. If you do have any questions, I will be hanging around for a bit at the end. I'm more than happy to answer them. And hopefully they will help with ways that you can give feedback to your learners. I know that Lisa and Beth have recorded this and they will be putting it on the YouTube channel later on. But if not, thank you very much for coming along, and I will see you all very soon.
Thank you very much, Julian. Thank you.
Yes, you can use Flipgrid with Hub email accounts.
Right, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You have to do the thing like at the end of TV shows now and wave. That's what everyone does, isn't it?
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how to put this off. Share content more.
Well, we're going to do escape rooms, aren't we, soon? Have I told Beth we're doing that yet?
Yeah,
Can you-
I'm in.
Yeah.
Can you share your email if we have any further queries on
Yes,
feedback and things?
I'll pop it in the chat box.
Thank you.
Yeah, I set my first escape room up the other day and it worked a treat.
What, an online one?
Well, you create it using OneNote, and then once it's made, it's like a shared link, so the students can then access it, and they have to kind of go through different rooms and solve puzzles. I did it where each of the clues was actually off the Moodle, so it was a way of me making sure that they actually read all the stuff off the Moodle or the Moodle handbook. So it was, like, oh, which page number, it's a number code, and it would be like, oh, the page number for emergency
Thank you.
contact and the page number for my phone number or something like that, and it would be a number to open the next room up. So it was a cool way of making it. And
that's another session.
Yeah.
yeah, we had loads of stuff in it. So
Yeah, that's another session.
which one's next week?
I did write it.
Collaboration
For pupils next
Yeah.
week, isn't it? For collaboration for.
We're looking at a few new ones there. Lino, Trello.
Collaboration for the classroom next week.
Yeah, I've got Trello and Lino, which we're going to add to it, which we've not looked at yet.
Lise, how many participants did we have tonight in total?
I think it was about 56 or 57.
Should we open the like Lindsay Lewis-Jones has just said she's on the wait list, so maybe we can open to an extra 20 on the wait list, and if Lindsay's one of the first 20, then that'll be great, but that'll just mean that we can open it up to a few more. Maybe.
Yeah, I can sort that out. He says.
Yes, most definitely. You can watch the recordings after the event. Lisa and I are trialing something new with Zoom. So once this recording has uploaded, we'll try that out. And if it doesn't work, it'll still go on the YouTube channel that we've got. We're just looking at making the most of our tech, aren't we, Lise?
Yeah, we're just a bunch of geeks.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that was useful for them.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So,
That's absolutely great. On the I'll stop recording now, shall I really? Bang. Yes. So